Welcome to Corporals Corner. Today we're going to improvise stakes in the field, so stick around. Alright, today I want to talk about improvising stakes in the field. Now, truth be known, I carry between 4 and 6 of these plastic stakes right here. They're a little over 6 inches long. They weigh almost nothing, so if I have room, which I always do, I might as well carry these. Now, why would you want to improvise stakes in the field? Well, there are several reasons. It could be that you forgot them. It could be that you need more. It could be that the terrain and climate dictate it, such as loose soil. If you pound your stake in and it drops in like this and buries itself and a high wind comes, it might blow it right back out. So you want a longer stake. Also, the stake's got to be proportioned to what you're trying to accomplish. If you're just hanging some little grabber tarp or some 5x7 lightweight equinox tarp, this might be fine. However, if I have a big oilskin tarp or a heavy canvas tarp, I might want something more heavy duty. Maybe a 1-inch diameter by 18 inches. So it has to all be relevant to what you're trying to accomplish. So today what I want to do is talk about material selection and carving the stake. For today's demonstration, you'll need a knife. What I've done here is I've selected 2 sticks, and it's green wood. This could be green wood, it could be dead wood, it could be a hardwood or even a softer wood. Again, it's all relevant to what you want to accomplish. If you notice here what I've done, I got 2 branches, and they're anywhere from thumb size to 1 inch in diameter. And they're roughly between 12 and 14 inches long, so I wouldn't want to get these stakes any longer than 18 inches. But for this right here, it's perfect for carving our notches. Now, this right here is ridiculous. And there's no reason that I can think of that you even want to do this unless you change your job and you want to move to Santa Carla. All this does right here is dull your knife, waste your time, and you get to carry this around ×2 or ×4 depending on what type of shelter configuration you want to set up. So this should be a baton in my opinion, and there's no reason at all that I can think of realistically that you want this. So try and stay away from this right here. From this point right here, all you gotta do is select a hard surface. Like this log right here, we're gonna use it for an anvil. Now, taking my sticks, I wanna go ahead and carve a stake notch. Why? Because it's a stake. To do that, there's a couple different ways. I'm gonna show you both. Taking my thumb-sized diameter branch, what I want to do is go ahead and look for a knot at the end. I don't see any real knots at the ends of my branch, so we're going to move on. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to approximate about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, somewhere in here. I'm going to go ahead and perform a stop cut. I'm going to do that using my saw. So we'll say about right here. And I want to cut into this approximately 1/3 of the branch. And this is all really guesstimation is all it is. Now from this point, what you want to do is go back 1 more inch. Again, just guess. And I want to carve a 45-degree angle towards my stop cut. And that should be our stake notch. And now for option 2, if you don't have a knife with a saw, using whatever knife you choose, same thing, go down about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Now using the baton, you You want to just get into it about 1/3 also. That's your stop cut right there. And once again, 1 inch away. Carve at a 45-degree angle towards your stop cut. And you're good to go. Now that we've carved our steak notch, we want to go ahead and finish off the top portion of our steak. To do that, we have two things we have to do. First off, we want to go ahead and follow the same 45-degree angle right here, and we want to do that right across the top of our steak. The next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and crown or taper the top part of our steak. And here's the reason why. When you strike on this with a blunt object, it's going to send a shock wave through the steak. And what tends to happen is this portion right here gets driven off. It also mushrooms the top of the steak. We want to try to avoid that. So like we talked about, all we're going to do is follow that same 45-degree angle across the top of my steak. Just like that. Now I want to go ahead and crown or taper my top. Looking pretty good to go. One final step, gotta carve the base. Now, I'm gonna refer to my vampire steak. We're not looking for something like this. This is too time consuming and it's wasteful. So what you wanna do is go ahead and just carve 3 sides, just real quick. 1, 2, 3, good to go. Welcome back, that was outstanding. That was a quick down and dirty of how to improvise some steaks while in the field. Now keep in mind the diameter and length should be in proportion for what you're trying to accomplish. And there's no need for this unless you're going to hunt vampires. Thank you for your comments, views, support. Thanks for watching. I'm going to catch you next time.